So Aries, let's start out with you and what you can expect now here this coming month. And the focus is pretty much on your relationship. So you got Sun, Mercury, you got the new moon, you got Jupiter there. And so this is going to be a month where you're really going to feel the need to balance your relationship in a very harmonious way, whether this is you shoring things up, but you could also come to see maybe that your partner is going to step forward or step up to a higher degree this month, as everything now is about communication. How do you communicate? What are you communicating? What are you sharing? What is fair between the two of you? So it could have things, for example, like routines. Is he or she doing enough for it to feel like there's a great balance going on? And this is because both Sun, Mercury, Jupiter is in the sign of Libra. Think about the scales, right? But Libra is also Venus. It's all about love. So you're definitely going to be feeling that your heart chakras are going to be at work and maybe even working overtime this month. I feel this new moon, 26 degrees in Libra, is going to be a great new moon for you. This is all about setting your intentions, the new beginnings, and so forth. I'll get back to the date on that a little bit later. But yes, think about the Libras and how they always balance between making their choices. Is it too much? Is it too little? Do I want to go left? Do I want to go right? They always think both sides of the coin before they make their decision. So you could, in other words, also find yourself maybe flip-flopping just a little bit before landing there at the center point and finding your grounding in this balance. Venus and Mars both are transiting through the sign of Virgo. Now, Virgo are always very organized people, right? And you're going to sense how that feels for you, in spite of wherever your Venus or Mars might be at birth, or even though you are an Arian, you're going to feel how love, dedication, direction is all going to be a little bit more on the mental level, okay? Because it's Virgo's ruled by Mercury, which is communication. And think about it, though, that Mercury is in your 7th house of Libra, also communication with your partner. So again, I feel this is a workout month where you can really come to love, love, love the outcome if you use these energies here in a grand way, to the best possible way of your knowledge. Now, not only that, but we have a beautiful golden trine from both these two lovebirds, Venus and Mars, to Pluto. Pluto being that pivotal point of transformation. Pluto is what renews everything, new beginnings and so forth. So if you have taken a break, or maybe you have been a little bit estranged from your partner, this could be a great time to kiss and make up and really take it to that next level. Pluto has the power to burn away anything that was negative in the past, renew it with in-depth passion, intensity, and so forth. Even if you haven't had a fallout, let me tell you, though, you're definitely going to be tasting and sensing the depth and the beauty of this Venus-Pluto trine and the Mars-Pluto trine, which really means that you guys are going to dedicate with intent, with focus, laser-sharp focus. And once again, communication is your key this month to really make it as beautiful as it is that you're perceiving, not just perceiving, but which you're dreaming about, right? I'm also seeing here that, you've been really transforming a whole lot of your personality over these last few years. We talk about that a little bit every month, right? With Uranus there in your 1st house, 27 degrees, Aries. So you only got 3 more degrees to go before this era is over for you. And if you think back to before Uranus went into this area for you, and where you were then and where you are now, go back 4 to 5 years, right? You can see the changes that you have made, can't you? You've liberated your energy. You've really dared to come out with all your true colors and authenticity. You've liberated whatever bound you in the past. You're more free-spirited. And not that you weren't from birth. All Arians pretty much are, because you are so ruled by Mars, right? You do what it is you want to do, and you're very enthusiastic and spontaneous by true nature. But this Uranus in this area for you has really allowed you to open up in different ways, to think outside of the box, to take more risking in your choices. But also spiritually, Aries, I can see how you have grown, over these last few years. And in the next coming years, Uranus is going to be focusing on how you can transform, change up your ways of making money. That will be in your income house. But the second house is not just income, it's self worth. Okay, so everything that you have renewed as far as your personality and liberated it, you're going to take to the test over the coming 5 to 7 years. And that will be when Uranus really puts it out there, your new sense of self. And of course, you're going to be attracting new people that more so resonate to who you are, the new you, rather than the old you. And I think a lot of you have already noticed maybe how you've been changing up friends and so forth, attracting new friends over these last few years who understand you and get you for the way that you think. And even more so, that will be true for the oncoming years. We got that full moon, 12 degrees in your sign. And so that is really going to harvest a lot of things for you when we encounter it this month. I feel that since it's in your first house, it's going to illuminate your personality. So you're definitely going to be the it person taking on center stage. And I feel whatever you've been working on for this last month should definitely now come to the surface. Saturn in your ninth house, moving forward now, picking up speed. It's 22 degrees there in Sag. So for you, it's all about that higher concept of who you are, where you're trying to aim, your higher goals. It's all preparatory stages for when Saturn will be moving into Capricorn later on this year and allowing you to achieve 28 years of achievement as far as your career goals. So right now you might find yourself, doing all preparatory steps, researching, whatnot, educating yourself, taking on extra courses and so forth. Some of you have committed to travel a little bit more. Others of you, however, though, because Saturn can also both be dedication and commitment, but it can also be restriction. So some of you might have felt that you've been restricted from maybe traveling as freely as you have wanted over the last couple of years. That can have anything to do with green cards, waiting for any kind of legislation to go through on that level. But Saturn is here for a reason, and it's always, always wanting to protect us, right? So listen, we're starting off the month with you and your goal orientation. And I said you're really passionate right now. You're going to feel it just as we hit off top of October. And as you do, what I'm sensing is not only are you going to get to achieve that goal, that horizon that you have been running towards, should I say, not really just walking towards, but running towards. You know what it is you want now, Aries, and I'd say go for it, because you're going to start off this month with wind under your wings. There is a sense of power around you that will be noticed. People will sense your intensity. They will sense your dedication, and they will listen up to what it is you have to say. The actions that you take will be noticed and seen. And I feel not only is it all that physical energy that's dedicated, which is Mars and it is your ruler, but it's Venus too. You're putting your heart into it. So your heart chakra is all now focused on wanting to renew, restart, begin this new level of energy. I feel in the work field. This is what's coming up for me when it's about you. The work you do in your day-to-day life with your coworkers and so forth, but it's also how you're projecting yourself, your dedication to the area of your career. Now, if you should have any kind of review, interview, that kind of thing going on, anything career related, as we start out those first 5 days of the month, I feel is the best shot of all in entire October. for you to really hit those goals with a big bang, right? And then I see that once you have done so, then we're going to be looking more so at the consequences or the testing of, and that comes between the 8th and the 11th. Let's take even the 15th, add that into the mix too. So between these dates, conversations that come up will test you as far as it's like the universe is asking, are you sure this is what you really want? Do you want this? And if so, okay, are you ready for it? Right? So it's like both your mind and your essence of who you are is going to be in this testing squad, if I could say. Some of it is going to relate to your career. So that could be with supervisors or whatnot. But I'm also seeing how this could be tested to you, between you and your partner. Whether that is your significant other, it could also be somebody you partner with or work closely with. You might even feel that they might be challenging you. It might not just be you challenging them, but you could also together be challenged by some outer circumstance. And then it's all about, Aries, to find the best solution. Remember that a lot of this is now coming through the sign of Libra. That is where Mercury and the Sun is being challenged. And so for you, it's about finding a solution that works for all parties, not just your own. If you do, that power up from Pluto can just be even more so testy. But if you're looking to the other side of the coin and see that this is interrelated energy, that we have to find a mutual synergy that works for both ends, boy, you could really come to achieve big things coming from it. But the only warning is, don't stand too much on your own grounds looking for your needs, because then that could just become a little bit more difficult. Something's got to give, and I'm thinking as you are being inclusive, then you will be included. So that's the mantra between the 8th and the 15th. There's a whole week there, and it's a day-by-day thing, actually, that you can come to see how this is going to be playing out. And all we want to avoid, since Pluto is involved, of course, is power play or power games. Will not really work out too well. Then we can see that things are going to start picking up again. I love seeing here that you're back in the seat of control, feeling great and empowered. This is when the Sun and Saturn meets up. You will feel that the balance between you and whoever it is that you're working with at the time should be in a good place. I see mutual agreements, actually smiles on both sides. Also, if you have anything to do with legalities, this could be a suit, a court case or whatnot, or a visa, passport, green card, that kind of thing. If you've been waiting for it, there could be good news for you here around the time of the 16th. So loving to see that. That should free you up and allow you now to take the steps in the direction that you've been working towards. Then, as we proceed throughout the month, there's something as far as your hopes and dreams, okay? Something that's really been lurking behind the scenes, you know, subconsciously and whatnot. I feel this could have something to do also, perhaps, with money situations or any kind of contracts, commissions, royalties, that kind of thing, could now start coming to the surface and allowing you to work it, to take it that one step deeper, and maybe also receiving some news and negotiations coming from it, which should be actually pretty great. On the 26th, this is a day for love. I'd like to say romance. I'd like to say anything of good news. It's a day where you're going to feel a little bit more enthusiastic too, as Jupiter opens up some doors for you. This is a time when you can just feel that things are starting to look your way. And then whatever it is, that whole week where you were being tested, this is going to come to the forefront. You're going to be looking at this and you're thinking, wow, all right, now. It's like a little revisit of that week. However, there was other planetary bodies involved between the 8th and the 15th. So right now it's Venus. It's your values So maybe here comes that second test for you to look at. Do you really want this? And if so, here's the consequence of it being delivered, right? And so I'm feeling this is a day where you will look at it. It might give you a little chance to kind of tweak things, renegotiate. If most of it ended up being good and there's still a little snag there, well, this would be the day where you can go in and have some further communication, Aries, to look at how you can really power it up in a much, much better way. So let's go back to our moon positions, and that full moon is October 5th, 12 degrees in your sign, Aries. Like I said, your first house, your center stage, there should be situations around you which you will feel very illuminated this month, right? And then the new moon will be October 19th, 26 degrees in Libra. So of course that is going to be your seventh house for love, relationships, and so forth. And this is where you want to plant your seeds to really empower this area of your life, not just for this month, Aries, but for the full oncoming year, until the new moon will hit your seventh house again in 2018, a year from now, right? So these new moons will always indicate new beginnings in the area that it touches. For you, it's a beautiful new moon. Why? Because it is conjunct Jupiter. Next year when it comes around, Jupiter is going to be long gone. So it could be 12 years before you actually get to have this fruitful, beautiful, powerful new beginning. So circle that. That is October 19th. I would say if you are in a relationship, rate this to be a date night, right? And if you are single, because we always got to look out for you single ones too, then yes, absolutely, this should be a time for you to put out your intentions to the universe that you are ready to receive a relationship, right? Okay, Aries, thank you for watching and listening. I'm not on video, as we know. This month I will be traveling. I might have to do this here for November. I'm trying to work a little bit ahead of time, as I'll be out and about. But I hope that this really works for you anyway, right? So next month, see you then. Bye now.